Welcome to Metaphysics in the Bible, week 6 of 10. Our topic today is play Harp Anyone. We'll go over what's happening in the sky, and the question for today is, why do we love music? So we went around the room and we had a nice discussion on what everybody loves as far as their genres and music in their life, and it was really interesting. It was quite diverse. It was really cool. And some quick notes that I just wanted to share, that Henry says it's a universal language. It's, no babble contained in it. And Marion said music connects with the heart and emotions. Many people said something similar to that. It's associated with the chakras. It brings people together, says Deborah. So while we're on this worldwide cleanse, people are coming together with it. Yeah, it's all beautiful. It's great. So what's happening in the sky for November the 8th is a special blood full moon eclipse. This is the last one spoken about in the Bible before the Phoenix rising. So let's go ahead and just take a quick look. I know if you're not into astrology, that's okay. Just listen to some of the words. What's happening in the sky is the moon is going to be opposite the sun, causing a blood full moon eclipse. It's a very special one. The moon is in Aries, which represents your conscious mind, your head. Right? This is actually what's happening in the sky. If others are saying it's in a different location, God bless. Anyway.
Claudio?
Yep.
Claudio, where is this eclipse going to be seeable?
It's going to be viewable for a lot of locations because it lasts 6 hours. I will bring that up. It centers over Alaska, but many people are going to see it.
Crazy. I could probably see it from my area too, right? Yep. It's weird because November 8th is my dad's birthday, so I don't know what that possibly could mean. Oh my God.
A really good app for that is dateandtime.com. I should have pulled it up, but I know it's centered over Alaska, but it'll be over that area. Many people from South America will start seeing the beginning portions of it, all North America, and then swinging across to the other side. Australia, New Zealand, Russia, that whole area, China, parts of Africa. It's a very special blood moon. So the sun is in Libra and the moon is in Aries. And remember, Libra is the weighing of the heart, right? And Aries is your head or manifestations, your thoughts, your thought processes. And once again, this is happening in your libraries. If you remember, Libra and Aries together makes the word libraries, your Akashic records, where all your vibrations in the waters are kept. So it's a really special one. They happen every so often in Libra and Aries, but not before a Phoenix rising, because they're just reminders of what happens. And then what also makes this special, there's two more things that make this special. Uranus and Mercury are in alignment with that alignment. And if you remember, Mercury is the Akashic record, the scribe. That's Thoth in the Bible. Mercury is the closest one to the sun, right? So Mercury rides around. So when you're in the sky, it looks like it's going forward and back, retrograde, direct, going around the sun. So the fastest moving one around the sun is the one that is your scribe, makes the most sense, right? It's kind of like a sampling rate. Or when you take a sampling rate for an MP3 for a song, you sample it. The higher you sample it, the better the quality, right? So Mercury's in there, Thoth, that's the scribe in the Bible. And then the other one is Uranus, the winds of change. On Egypt, on the walls, this is Shu. Hey, Shu, get out of here, blow them away. It's the wind that holds up the sky. Just jump to this slide for a second here. This is the Egyptian showing you what the world looks like. So Shu holds up the firmament, the starry skies, the wind underneath the sails. Nut is the starry skies or the firmament, and Geb is the earth, the waters above and the waters below. And what holds it up is Shu. That's what it's called. So that's where we get to Uranus, which, don't forget, Uranus is the first planet that we cannot see with our naked eye. When you look in the Bible, chapter 1, world's creation in 7 days in the book of Genesis, verse 6, let there be a firmament. Firman means fixed in the midst of the waters. and let it divide the waters from the waters. The firmament divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so called the firmament heaven. So you have to notice that the 7 days they're talking about is your 7 energy centers or your chakras. When they're talking about the Bible that created the world in 7 days, it's you being created, your 7 chakras. That happens in the womb. So Shu holds up the starry waters above from the earthly waters below, which is Geb. Remember, this blood moon is in Aries, which is the Phoenix rising sign. So now we're going to bring in one more special alignment, and that's with Star Vega. Vega, or the hen, the all, the one, everything, the ether, part of the cosmic breath. It's inner spiritual flood. It's in the constellation of Lyra, the lyre, the harp. The moon and the sun are in a trinity alignment with this beautiful event. So as you can see, this is for the astrology people if they want to see the aspects. So the moon is in trinity with Vega, and the sun is in what they call a sextile. In other words, a sixth. Instead of 120, they're 60 degrees apart. The 4th Phoenix rising, right on that Phoenix rising before, the moon was aligned in a trinity with Vega. So this is really cool. History repeats itself. So here's time and date. The overall duration is about 5 hours. So 6 hours, 5 hours and 54 minutes. It is, people say, oh no, blood moons happen all the time. Not the full eclipse blood moon. It's special. Look at November 7th, 2022 is a lunar eclipse. And then March 13th, 14th, and 2025 is the next one where we get a blood moon that is of this caliber. So we're getting the one before the Phoenix rising. And that's what they talk about in the Bible. So that 6 hours means many locations and many natal charts are going to feel this vibration. What is man going to tell you about the root cause of these feelings are, right? As we feel these feelings, we don't understand that it's the stars, it's the vibrations in the air, in the waters above that is affecting our waters from our past actions. And that's what we're going to get into today. And that's in the Bible. Let's have a look at some reference documents about the constellation Lyra, which contains the brightest star, Vega. So Horus with the lyre or harp of 7 strings was the sevenfold one as a divine type of attainment, the octave and the height in music, as well as the building of the heavens. This Horus was the first form of the all, one, or pan, in whom 7 powers were unified in perfect harmony, or in the music of spheres. There it is, Marion. It was Horus who tore out the sinews of Sut by depriving him of power and turned the discord of universe to harmony. And that's a Phoenix rising. The fall of Babylon, and we go towards one love. He was consequently depicted in the constellation Lyra as the maker of music that was played on the harp, the lute, the lyra, 7-fold pipes of Pan, as a figure of the all one. This is one of the best books if you want to learn things about Egypt. It's Ancient Egypt in the Light of the World, Volume 1 and Volume 2. I asked Ken Wheeler, I says, hey, because he's mentioned that there's only very few books that he would ever recommend. So I asked him what he recommended, and he said, I got those books, that's all he said. So I'm not sure if he has any more or not, because I asked him, hey, can you share any more? And he didn't respond, so I'm assuming maybe that's all he's got. And let me know if I can throw them up Google Share Drive. And then in the zodiac of Dendera, this constellation is figured as a hawk or an eagle, the enemy of the serpent in triumph. In other words, you that controls the snake. There's a snake coming out of the Egyptian hieroglyphs, and then there's the vulture, one of materialism that you're controlling, and the one of wisdom, soaring. So blessing and honor and glory and power be unto him that sitteth upon the throne and unto the Lamb forever and ever. Amen. That's Revelation 5:13, and that's in history written in the stars. So what is so important about Lyra aligning with this blood full moon eclipse? We're hoping to shed some light for you today. The 7 strings, the 7-fold pipes, the 7 powers. They're speaking about your internal energy centers, your chakras. How do they measure? In other words, from the blue chakra representing your thoughts, your green chakra representing your heart, as light as a feather, and your red or root chakra representing your procreation is a divine. This is what is meant when they talk about the 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. It's everywhere, and it's in our body. But the 7 is the light that you can see, the one that we're affected by with our choices in life, because those are the vibrations we leave in our own internal waters. I'm going to do a separate video on this whole thing of the chakras. Maybe I'll take it up in Metaphysics in the Bible. I'm not sure if it fits, but we'll look at it. So let's look into the Bible. It took me a long time to find Lyra in the Bible. The Orthodox Jewish Bible, which is kind of the Jewish communities held on to the breadcrumbs way more than anybody else did. They had 19. The Living Bible had 11. The Message had 2, and most of them had none or 1. But yet then you go and look for harp. Well, there's 34 in the Orthodox Jewish, there's 46 in the Living Bible, and 28 in the Message. So you can see how in time we lose our way in the Piscean age, where we have spiritual Alzheimer's and understanding our own being and our own existence, and that we are in control of our infinite lives, whether we want to stay on the wheel or not. But this is the important stuff, and it's invigorating. So we lost the truth about the metaphysical meaning of Lyra, not only as the constellation, but as that which is part of our cleansing during a Phoenix Rising season, which we started in 2019 when Eris, Madonna, Isis, the winged woman, whatever you want to call her, the divine feminine of pure love, when she came into our head. So in the book of Psalms, chapter 98, verse 5, sing unto the ruling goddess. Remember, I replaced the word Lord with ruling goddess, because we know that that is the definition of it. Sing unto the ruling goddess with the harp and the voice of a psalm. So know your vibrations. That's what this one's telling you. Chapter 33, 2, give thanks to the ruling goddess with the lyre. Sing praises to her with the harp. Kind of a little bit of misinterpretation of what's going on, but they're just trying to keep you with the breadcrumbs, knowing that when the lyre plays, we get cleansed, and it's a timed event. Chapter 147, verse 7, sing unto the ruling goddess with thanksgiving, sing praise upon the harp unto her. This is synchronized chakras. Book of 1 Chronicles, chapter 15, verse 28. So all Israel, remember Isis, Ra, El is the mother, you, and time, brought up the chest containing the ruling goddess's covenant with shouts of joy, accompanied by the blasts of the ram's horn, by trumpets and cymbals, and playing on harps and lyres. The ram's horn is Aries. The trumpet is significant to the phoenix arising in Aries, because remember the word Aries is arise, and will be the sound we hear when that day arrives. Note that most of the Bible verses are mistranslating the harp and the Constellation Lyra. So when they see musicians playing like this one here on the wall, they're not getting it. This is the Temple of Komombo. I'll throw an overlay when I edit the video, but the Temple of Komombo, it's showing you about the 5th Phoenix Rising. It's got a picture of overhead in the entranceway of 5 Phoenix Risings. Many people are saying it's the 6th sun, and we know it's the 5th. We've proven it. And then Komombo has it. And Komombo was built from this Phoenix Rising going back 5 risings ago, around 209 BC. So they're misinterpretations of literal musicians, but it's all related to loving vibrational energies from spirit during a Phoenix Rising, when we rise our Christ consciousness. That's the messages he left behind. Again, how do you leave spiritual messages to somebody? Well, you got to do it in material. And then during a Piscean age, where we get the 2,000 year of spiritual Alzheimer's, we take it literally. We take it materialistically. And now's the time to remember. Book of 1 Samuel, chapter 16, verse 16. Give us the command, we will look for someone who can play the harp. Well, that's going to happen automatically in the sky. When the cleanse from the ruling goddess enters you, he will play. Then the cleanse will leave you alone, and you will feel better. So the divine feminine harp will play, but we cleanse and then we'll feel better. Chapter 16, verse 23, and it came to pass, when the cleanse from the ruling goddess was upon Saul, that David took a harp and played with his hand. So Saul was refreshed and was well, and the cleanse departed from him. So you can see that after these spiritual events that we're upon in the sky, we will feel better. But we got to understand what's happening and be brave. And whatever we do with our chakras, our own chakras, make sure we're vibrating the waters pure. Okay, in Book of Revelation, scroll really means measurement. Remember the word M-E-N-T means mind, consciousness. Mente is your mind. So I'm measuring your mind. So chapter 5, the scroll and the lamb. And the lamb is Aries. Okay, so it's significant of the lamp in your head, the rising, the Christ consciousness rising. So verse 1 and 2, I saw a scroll in the right hand of the one seated on the throne. It was written on both sides, fastened with 7 seals. I also saw a powerful angel calling out in a voice like thunder. Is there anyone who can open the scroll? Who can break its seals? Well, the scroll is your Akashic record. And that's the measurement of you, the measure of your mind. So breaking of the 7 seals means if you can make your 7 chakras pure, your cleanse will be easy. If it's not pure, then you're going to go through some cleansing, but you're going to feel better. It even says it in the Bible. You're going to feel better after it. And we're upon it. So verse 7 and 8, he came and took the scroll out of the right hand of him who sat on the throne. When he had taken the scroll, the 4 living creatures and the 24 elders fell down before the Lamb, each one having a harp, and golden bowls full of incense, which are the prayers of the saints. So this is saying we are going to break our seals. We are going to have this Christ consciousness, Christ awakening, the whole world, one love. It's all coming. Patience and kindness helps. So this is taking control of your own world. In the book of Joel, chapter 2, the sun turning black and the moon blood red. So here it is. Verse 30 to 32. I will give signs in the heavens and on the earth. Well, we know we're already getting them on earth, right? We're cleansing. If we have time later and somebody reminds me, I'll tell you about my cleanse that I had over the weekend, and it was not fun, but it was invigorating too at the same time. Blood and fire and columns of smoke. We talked about that as volcanoes. The sun will be turned to darkness and the moon to blood red before the great and dreadful day of the ruling goddess comes. But everyone who calls on the ruling goddess, her name, will be saved. For on Mount Zion in Jerusalem, there will be security, as the ruling goddess has promised, and in Jerusalem, the ruling goddess will summon those who survive. So Jerusalem means the zodiac. And Mount Zion is the head, the top, us, our crown chakra. Book of Revelation, chapter 6, verse 21. And I saw when he had opened the 6th seal.
How is Jerusalem the zodiac?
Jerusalem, Giro, Giro in Italian. It goes round and round and round and round. I'll look up the etymology of it that I've done, and I'll get it to you, Jacob. Thanks for joining us. And behold, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood. All right, in the book of Psalm, so 57 verse 8, awake my tongue, awake viol and harp, and I will awake early. So we're getting awakened by the music in the stars. That's what we're upon. There is a Christ conscious raising, we know it. How many people are talking like they are today compared to 15 years ago? Not many. I know there are some that were awake for a long time, maybe their whole life. Book of Proverbs, chapter 21, verse 2. Every way of a man is right in his own eyes, but the ruling goddess weighs the heart. That's a measure. Don't we have measures in music? Does music contain verses? Does the Bible contain verses? Mass, the etymology of mass, is coming together to sing, to play our own harps together, to purify ourselves. That's why we gathered in churches that were designed to vibrate properly. And if everybody's not seeing the 432 versus 440 on the cymatics, which today's current music is played at 440 versus 432, there is a big difference. There's a huge difference with 432. And it's like switching from drinking something that's not organic to organic. It tastes totally different. So it's going to take people get used to 432. John Lennon's song Imagine was done in 432. The music industry got upset with him. The reason why they went to 440 is this is a theory, but I believe it. It says the 440, when you walked into a store, you would spend more. It's vibrating your waters materialistically because it's confusing. It makes it muddy. So then the question is, our image is a song. Everything is about music, frequency, vibrations that we leave in these waters. So a quick
What is
recap.
the ruling goddess?
Lord, remember I told you last time, the etymology of the word Lord is ruling goddess.
Lord is feminine.
Right.
Okay.
If you look up the word Isha in Sanskrit and Prakrit, it means ruling goddess. Isha
Is
in
that
Hebrew.
Is that the word in Hebrew?
Yeah,
What's
Isha.
the word in Hebrew?
I-S-H-A.
No, for ruling goddess. What's the word in Hebrew?
Isha.
So, okay. Isha is the word. Okay.
Yep. So you go look up Isha and you'll see ruling goddess in Sanskrit and Prakrit. And then in Hebrew, they translated it to woman. So in time, it stayed as Lord. And then we changed Lord to man. Of course, because we forget about the divine feminine during our spiritual Alzheimer's. We forget about the waters and where we came from. So a quick recap and then we're done, guys. There's a blood moon aligning with your Lyre-ries, asking you to open your 7 seals. So only you can open them. The Lyra, Harp, Lyre alignment is very well versed in the Bible. And that alignment's happening on November the 8th. And only you have the ability to change your world. And everybody that comes into your life is part of your test to get there.